Uncover the facts behind the alarming surge in mass shootings this year. CrimeDoc analyzes the data, explores root causes, and addresses the global impact. Join us for a concise, informative look at a pressing issue. There have been more mass shootings than days in 2023, database shows. The United States has experienced 627 mass shootings so far this year. There have been at least 627 mass shootings in the U.S. So far this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive, mass shootings are defined as an incident in which 4 or more victims are shot or killed, according to the archive. The Gun Violence Archive tracked roughly 645 mass shootings in 2022 and 690 in 2021. At this time last year, the country had experienced 617 mass shootings. Though mass shootings don't make up the majority of gun violence incidents in America, their impact on communities and victims is evident. Incidents like the mass shootings in Lewiston, Maine, Nashville, Tennessee, Buffalo, New York, and Uvalde, Texas, continue to have cities in mourning and have sparked repeated calls for gun reform. The October mass shooting in Lewiston was the deadliest shooting of the year and one of the deadliest in recent decades. It left at least 18 people dead and 13 more injured, according to Maine Gov. Janet Mills. Here's a look at some of the other mass shooting tragedies the U.S. has seen so far this year. Birmingham, Alabama. 2 people are dead and 3 others injured in a shooting in Birmingham, Alabama. On Monday, Sept. 4, officials say a total of 5 victims arrived at Wabb Hospital with gunshot wounds. 3 of the victims were fired upon while at Wabb Hospital, leading to damage to an emergency room door and a law enforcement patrol car. Washington, D.C. 9 people were injured in a drive-by shooting in Washington, D.C. early July 5, as residents were still celebrating the 4th of July holiday, police said. The shooting occurred shortly before 1 a.m. on Meade Street in the northeastern quadrant of the U.S. Capitol, according to the Metropolitan Police Department of the District of Columbia. All 9 victims have non-life-threatening injuries. 2 are children, ages 9 and 17, according to officials. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A suspect clad in a bulletproof vest and carrying a rifle and multiple rounds of ammunition opened fire in Philadelphia on July 3, killing at least 5 people and wounding 2 children, authorities said. The youngest of the deceased victims was only 15 years old. Fort Worth, Texas. At least 3 people were killed and 8 others were injured in a shooting on July 3 following an annual July 4 event called CommaFest in Fort Worth, Texas. Police said. Baltimore, Maryland. At least 30 people were injured, 2 fatally, when a mass shooting erupted on July 2 in Baltimore at a neighborhood party. The victims ranged from age 13 to 32. The deceased victims were later identified by police by the Baltimore Police Department as Alaya Gonzalez, 18, and Kailis Fagami, 20. Dallas, Texas. 8 people were killed and 7 others were injured when a gunman opened fire at an outdoor mall north of Dallas, Texas, on May 6, according to officials. Atlanta, Georgia. 1 person was killed and 4 were injured in a mass shooting at an Atlanta medical center on May 3, police said. Cleveland, Texas. 5 people were killed after being shot in a Texas home by a suspect armed with an AR-15 style rifle in a horrific series of execution-style shootings on April 28, police said. Dadeville, Alabama. 4 people were killed and 28 others injured when a mass shooting broke out at a crowded Sweet 16 birthday party in rural Dadeville, Alabama, on the night of April 15, authorities said. Tallapoosa County Coroner Mike Knox has identified the 4 people declared dead from the shooting. 23-year-old Corbin Domitre Holston, 19-year-old Marcia Emmanuel Collins, 18-year-old Marcia Emmanuel Collins, 18-year-old Phil Stavius Dowdle, and 17-year-old Shankivia Nicola Smith. Louisville, Kentucky. 4 people were killed and 8 others, including 2 police officers, have been injured following a mass shooting at a bank in Louisville, Kentucky on Monday morning, according to police. Nashville, Tennessee. 3 children and 3 staff members were shot and killed at a private school in Nashville, Tennessee on March 27, according to an official at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. The shooting unfolded Monday morning at the Covenant School, a Christian school for students in preschool through 6th grade. The suspect, who was identified as a 28-year-old by police, was shot and killed by law enforcement officers in a lobby area on the 2nd floor of the school, police said at a news conference. Michigan State University. 3 people were killed and 5 others injured after a shooting at multiple locations on Michigan State University's East Lansing campus on the night of Feb 13, according to local police. The suspect has died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, officials said. Police initially received 911 calls of shots fired at 8:18 p.m. in Berkey Hall and located several victims there when responding. Chris Rosman, interim deputy chief of Mississippi Police and Public Safety, said. Police then received a report of another shooting and responded to the Measure Union building, where they found other victims, according to Rosman. Police are still working to determine the suspect's possible motive, the interim deputy chief said. Oakland, California. At least 1 person was killed and 7 more people were injured in a shooting in Oakland, California on the night of Jane 23. Authorities have not yet disclosed a possible motivation for this shooting. The shooting in Oakland was the 3rd mass shooting in California in just 3 days. Half Moon Bay, California. At least 7 people were killed and several more were left seriously injured in a shooting at 2 locations in Half Moon Bay, California on Jan 23. The suspect has been identified as 67-year-old Chunli Zhao. The incident remains under investigation, and a motive was unknown. The sheriff's office said, "At this time, we are aware of 8 victims, 1 who is deceased, and the remaining victims were listed in stable condition," the op said. Monterey Park, California. At least 11 people were killed and 10 others injured after a gunman opened fire at a dance studio near a Lunar New Year celebration in Monterey Park, California on Jan 21. Suspect Hugh Contran, 72, was found dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound inside a white cargo van in Torrance that law enforcement officers had surrounded and forced their way into about 30 miles from where the massacre occurred, authorities said. A motive for the Monterey Park shooting is not clear, according to authorities. According to law enforcement sources, domestic violence is one of the scenarios they're looking into. Still, the mass shooting has compounded ongoing fears from Asian Americans following a rise of anti-Asian racism and violence, community members say. Enoch City, Utah. A family of 8 people, including 5 children, were found dead with apparent gunshot wounds in a Utah home on John 4 after police conducted a welfare check, according to the officials in Enoch City, Utah. According to city manager Rob Dotson, a welfare check was called into the police department that evening. Dotson indicated that police are unaware of a motive. He also said law enforcement from Enoch City, Iron County, Cedar City are cooperating in the investigation. We all know this family. Many of us have served with them in church and community and gone to school with these individuals, Dotson said at a press conference. And so this community at this time is hurting. They're feeling loss. They're feeling loss. They're feeling pain. They have a lot of questions, which is natural. Huntsville, Alabama. 11 people were shot in an altercation that left 2 dead and 3 in critical condition, according to Huntsville ABC affiliate YA. The Madison County Sheriff's Office said investigators arrested 3 16-year-olds and 2 adults in connection with the shooting. As we unravel the chilling truths behind mass shootings, your support is crucial in spreading awareness and fostering a collective commitment to change. Subscribe to CrimeDoc for more eye-opening documentaries, hit the like button to show your solidarity, and ring the bell to stay updated on our quest for justice.